As is usual, legal would like us to say that you may enjoy what you hear and see tonight, but you will feel bad about yourself, and there will be regrets later.
True.
It's a standard disclaimer. Got to get it out there. So, Chuck, who are you playing tonight?
I am playing Pierce McIntyre, a cultist extraordinaire. I can cast spells, but the problem is, last session I tried to fist fight a panther, and I got my butt kicked.
That's what happens when the guy that should never be in melee gets in melee.
Yeah.
Speaking of a character that should never do anything, especially shoot, Dan, who do you got?
I've got Chance, and so far he's just been leaning towards hasn't got one at anything.
But you're still breathing.
I mean, that's close. Technically our gunslinger, maybe, sort of, kind of.
It's the only thing saving you. You actually know how to use a gun. You just have rotten luck with it.
I mean, I know better than pointing at myself.
Are you sure?
Not confident.
It's point and click. It's not difficult. Joe, with the character whose name is unpronounceable for trade reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm playing the Jebediah Bejevams, our gambler who likes to downplay his magic card abilities and is one of the only people that's not almost dead. So going pretty well at the moment.
Speaking of almost dead, the player who's got the character that's all the way dead.
Hi, I'm Scab. I'm 12 years old. I used to be an orphan, but then Mr. McIntyre adopted me. So I'm just going to ignore all those funny feelings that happened after the cave-in from when I used to be a minor, because things are great now. Really on the upswing.
And Jake, playing the character who dead folks like to talk to, and they just won't shut up.
Comment allez-vous? Je suis un photographe français, Kylian Fouché, who has now become a calavera who speaks with the dead. Not just Scab, by the way. He is about to speak with a lot more dead people because that wildcat that did some melee damage earlier just so happens that Killian found that wildcat while attempting to poke at a dead body. So, it just goes to show you the dangers of the frontier life, the weird frontier life.
Mm-hmm. And bringing in he wears tights and oils up his very masculine arms and chest. Eddie, who are you playing?
I'm playing Ivan, the resident luchador, who is not in good shape right now after just barely pulling off an upset against his longtime rival. So I'm feeling the effects of some work, but I'm ready to go. However short a distance that may be that I go.
But you'll go it. You'll go it.
Oh, I'll go it in glorious fashion.
Go, Ivan. Right. So at the end of the last game, you guys had discovered the ditch where Billy Ray, his body has been decomposing in for a while now, and protecting said body almost like it was a cherished cub or perhaps a choice bit of tidy morsel. Was a very odd cat creature. A star mutant cougar, actually, as the stats say, that you are able to slay with a little bit of difficulty as Pierce McIntyre tried to save you all by going mano a mano with it. That didn't work out so well. So instead,
I bravely ran away.
You briefly ran away, but did you
bravely?
Then you ran back. So
both
that
ways.
was the brave part. So we ended the game there with creature dead. You guys having found or discovered Billy Ray's corpse, and many of you are, well, you're in pretty bad condition. So let's pick up there. What now, folks?
Killian, do your thing.
All right. I'll attempt to have a grim conversation with Billy Ray and see if he's chilling out in the near by any chance.
Not only is Billy Ray's departed spirit not chilling out in the near, it's not here. Although you get the very distinct feeling that it has not gone on to its greater reward. It's here somewhere, just not with its body.
Didn't we get a fancy coin?
We did.
Yes, we did. I'll try to. I don't know. I'll place the coin on the eye of the
Billy Ray.
the remains of what was once Billy Ray to see if a change in the atmosphere occurs.
All right. That should have done something. But apparently the soul is not close enough to the body or is being detained. It is not coming back or passing on. Again, you have the distinct feeling that the soul still exists. It hasn't been rent or destroyed, which happens sometimes. There are creatures in the near and far that will devour spirits. You get the distinct impression it's still around, just not here.
Mm,
And the coin is not calling it back.
This is beyond.
It should.
It's immediately beyond my expertise.
Beyond mine as well, I'm afraid.
Hey there, Twin
So,
Dead Twitches. Thanks for that sub. Good stuff.
How badly is everyone right now? Mr. McIntyre?
If I had to put it in a numerical value, I would say 3 of 11.
Okay. Not quite a sucking chest wound, but definitely
Very
not
close.
good. How about Chance? How is Chance doing right now?
Less than half.
Okay. Just to give folks an idea of how the party is doing. Jebediah, how are you doing?
19 out of 19.
Oh, yeah.
A shooter.
Jebediah just sat down and not only is he not down hit points, his pockets are richer.
I boxed someone over the head on my way to sit down and then play cards.
There
So.
you go.
About Scab. How's Scab doing?
Well, I had myself a good meal at the bar. I'm at 35 out of 35.
Oh, good.
We also shoot scab.
We would, but I don't think it'd do any good.
No, when
Killian?
I'm sorry.
I'm about 1/16 my usual self.
All right. And I think Ivan is the worst of the bunch.
I'm sitting at about 6
Okay. Yeah.
at a 25.
So
I'm
Pierce
not
and
doing
Ivan
great.
Yeah.
are both looking a little rough for wear. You haven't had a chance to really rest since you got here.
Killian has
The
just
hell ride
really
on the
to-
train and the ride out here. So yeah, it's been a day. It's been a day.
Why don't we go see if there's some kind of holy man in town that can provide some?
Perhaps they can slap some healing on us.
Yeah. We'll go
You wanna
patch up, come
Look
back,
around the town. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with Billy Ray's body?
leave it there.
Yeah, it's been here for a while, unnoticed.
I say we go heal up, come back to the body, do a proper investigation, and then see what we can do about taking care of his remains in a respectful way.
Oh,
Are there any spirits in the area?
There's a lot of cows still. No,
I'll try to
folks,
cast.
though. No folks.
I'll try to cast.
Speak with cow.
Yeah, I guess I'll try to cast Bone Dance to see if I can't put the spirit of a cow into Billy Ray and then have him walk along with us for a bit.
Nice. Don't roll for that. It just doesn't work. Like somehow Billy Ray's soul still attached to the body somehow, not allowing any room for it to come back, anything else to take the body, but also not able to coax the spirit back.
That's some weird stuff.
Being difficult.
I'll kind of move my foot around the area just real quick before we head out to see if there are any like markings on the ground.
No, not really. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of movement past here. Honestly, by looking at the trail, and remember, you guys can kind of see this indigo kind of, black light, luminescent almost pattern from everything that Billy Ray touched. I mean, his one booted footprints, boot foot, looks like he ran out this way. If the spectators to the site are to be believed, with his head and eyes on fire, that he tried to burn his own eyes out. Just ran out this way and expired in a ditch. And it's not exactly an area that's well traveled, especially with how few people are living in this town right now.
So yeah, there's a thought. We go heal up, and then we
Okay.
come back here, and then we see if we can. So we know his ending location. Let's see if we can find his starting spot.
Like, go
his,
backwards.
Yes, follow his trail the other direction.
Well, you do remember passing this little shack of a house as you were going. You're out in the outskirts of the town a little bit. You remember passing this little shack that seemed to have had a cross on it. You're hoping maybe it's something that can provide you some aid, and it's on close into town. So as you come back into town, you see a dusty sign. You find the building. It indeed has a little cross raised on it. It's seen better days, and there's a sign that's really dusty, hard to read until you get up closer. It's Sister Edwina's house of the proliferate. Sorry, where'd my note go?
Oh no.
Cost of making it up on the fly.
Yeah, well, I came up with it when I needed to give you guys some healing. Oh, the proliferate profanities.
I'm sure this person's on the up and up.
Yeah, that's just what we need.
Just the kind of sounds we'll be making as we're healing.
Exactly. Most of the windows are broken out and been boarded up, but there's still a couple in there, enough to know that somebody's got some candlelight or lamp light on in there. You can hear kind of a out of tune organ being played, and the player is not very proficient as they keep screwing up, and you hear them going, "God, started!" It just cursing out a blue streak as you hear some wrong notes being played, and it starts over again.
Sounds just like the kind of healing I'm used to.
Yes, the question is this small enough to be considered a house where we have to knock first, or is it like any other holy building where we just walk in? Chance you find out.
Yeah, door's closed. You rap on the door. The door wasn't locked nor closed, so the door kind of opens a little bit, and there's a single sister, still in nunnery, big wimple hat, black clothing, as she's trying to pound out a melody on this old player piano, and again miskeys and just starts cursing a blue streak. Turns around and starts saying, "What the blankety 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 blank do you blankety blanks want here?" That's for you, Goodman channel, who doesn't like lots of profanities. Blank.
You're welcome.
I'd like some blankety blanking healing, blank blank.
Oh, hey, Edwina kind of looks taken aback like that. She kind of rustles up to you. Looks like she's got maybe some swollen ankles there. She lifts up her skirt and kind of waddles over you, puts her face right in yours, nose to nose, and says, "Well, who the blankety blank are you to think that you can get blankety blank healing from this blankety blank person?" And there's a big smile on her face.
And just a bunch of blankety blankers from the town over.
Give me a personality check.
Oh no.
You can have a whole +5 as you're speaking her lingo.
I need it,
Ivan's
apparently.
Ivan's
That's
seeing
it.
this nun curse and everything, and he's like already hot under the collar and fanning himself.
With your whole 10.
Yeah.
Just
Hey,
thinking
that's
of
what
the
I was
slap.
looking for, a 10. And she's like, you can use a little work there. Good attempt. And you do look like you're a blankety blank.
Yeah.
And your friend?
We
Or is he just normally that ugly?
Now we got real blanked up.
fought a blankety blank panther.
You're
Mr. McIntyre, let me know when I can take off the earmuffs.
No, I'll let you know.
yeah. If Scab's skin could blush.
Yeah.
It's just falling off.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on. Well, step inside. It's been a while since I've administered any blankety healing to any unfortunate blankety blanks happened to come into my blankety blank church. She clears her throat as she taps the very dusty alms box. There's like dust that comes up out of the slot as she taps it.
You know what? I've got $5. I'll put 2 in it.
Well, how blank generous. Well, come on over here. We'll start with you, handsome.
Very well.
I was gonna.
Which
We
one
all
of us
look
is she
around.
talking
I
to?
was thinking about going, which one is us? Like, no, that's me.
Is
So
you. Yeah. Well, are you a follower of the Lord? Do you believe in the power of healing and his blank grace?
blank, yeah.
So what path is your character on currently?
I'm walking the line.
You're walking the line. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, she slaps her hands together and gives it the old Mr. Miyagi warming up, and then she takes them and slams them down on your shoulder.
Okay.
She takes you and she shakes you violently. By the blank power invested in me by his lordship, the blank, I pronounce you healed. And she raises that palm and slaps you in the middle of the forehead.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what I want.
It's just like the healer I'm used to back in town.
I don't think I'll survive.
Oh, wow. Is that 3 die?
It is 3 dice.
No.
Oddly, she's on the same path.
Nice.
Somehow that's not surprising.
All right. That's 3d6 healing. 9. That'll do it.
All right. Anybody else step up? We'll
Oh,
forgo
yeah.
her blanketing. But she offers to heal everybody up there. Who's next?
Ivan's he can't get up there fast enough, and he tells her she does not have to be gentle with him. In fact, it's better if she's not.
Says, well, blank. If I weren't the wife of his blank goodness, we might go a few rounds, son.
Oh, Ivan starts blushing.
He's already oiled up for you.
So good. So what's your path?
Righteous.
You're righteous? Okay.
Yeah.
It's only a die, unfortunately.
Okay.
Unless
I'll take
anybody
whatever
wants
I
to
can.
spend any points that we got on her reroll. She doesn't have any. I used the one I gave her one reroll and she still didn't do well.
Yeah.
I roll over any, so if anybody kept
Oh,
records.
there it
last
is.
time,
We got a reroll from the crowd. Body
All right.
Revenger.
Thank
you want to
you.
use it on this?
Might as well. We need Ivan up to snuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'll leave that to the party.
All right. It's a little bit better. It's 2 dice for you.
Ooh, nice.
All right. Anyone else?
Chance.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, hot diggity daffodil.
Gotta do your blankety blank. Worst.
That was a good reroll. That was worth it.
Oh, wow.
Holy cow.
What path there is Chance on?
Same walking the line.
5 dice.
Oh God.
I probably need it.
Wow, she could have fixed blindness, organ damage, lost limbs.
Good God.
Oh my god.
That's impressive.
But can she fix his aim?
No, that's beyond a mere 5 dice. Mm. Well, hallelujah! Blink and blink.
Killian, did you need assistance still?
Yes, but I'm afraid of getting slapped.
It's fine. It didn't hurt that bad.
It's fine. You might even like it.
She rolls up them. She rolls up those sleeves for you and says, "Oh, I haven't slapped me a Frenchman in a blankety blank time."
There we go.
Ivan will lean down next to Killian and say, think about this. She's very strong. She may be too much for you.
It's fine. It's fine. I will go help brace Killian for the impact.
Yeah.
Last
Maybe
time
that's
I
what we
helped
need.
the
We'll just
Frenchman
push him
before I
forward.
took my vows. I rode him like a horse.
Oh boy, I'm pushing Killian forward. I've got both hands on the back of his shoulders.
She gives you
Killian
the
has
double
just gone
slap
straight
to
like a
both,
board and it's just
to both cheeks. What's your path?
walking the line.
3 dice.
Oh, nice.
I got to heal 25 out of 14 health.
Oh,
Wow.
where's my hit die?
Top left of your sheet.
Yeah.
Now,
Should
I'm
be right
not
next to
much for
your class.
pleasantries, and I got to learn me this here piano before I get a congregation, which might happen any Sunday now. So get
You got it.
Oh,
Good blank
Okay.
luck.
blank.
okay.
That was
You all speak such
Interesting.
strange languages here in America. I'd never heard that before.
usually
thinking of
when
asking
someone
her.
speaks like that, they say, "Pardon my French." So I'm surprised you weren't more comfortable with that.
Hmm.
Well, if that was their French, I would have to pardon it.
I was really wanting to play that piano, but I don't think she would have responded very well.
I'll go back in.
What the blank?
Listen, this little blank right here would love it if you would let him try and play your piano for a few blanking minutes.
Is it any good?
I don't know. No one's ever allowed me close, ma'am.
Well, you might have a blanket spiritual gift. Get your blank in here and sit down and blank me something.
Oh, okay. I don't know. What that
I don't
means.
think Scab knows if he's supposed to play the piano or
So
copulate.
I
with
take it Scab doesn't have doesn't have a skill of playing an instrument, does he?
No, he's
Just
a
roll
miner
me
and
a-
a busboy.
Roll me a d10 and let's see. I'll give you a stat. Let's have what's probably more fitting? I would say agility or intelligence, your choice. Agility or
I'll go
intelligence.
agility.
But it's a d10 since you have no skill in it.
Oh,
Oh, that's a blanking noise. And she's got a big grin on her face. Well, it's good to know the Lord didn't just give my blanking butt no ability with this either. I'm glad to know there's somebody out there that's more blanking at this than I am. Blank, kid.
Oh, well, I'm glad I could make you feel better, ma'am.
You made my blanking day. Again.
Hey, Pa, she said I made her day.
You did good.
We did good, Pa.
We'll have to
She
find you
grabs
another
a-
one of those someday so you can get some practice in.
Grabs you a bristle boom and she literally sweeps you out. Go, get, blanket.
If you can't be the best, you can always be the worst.
Yeah, I could. Thanks, Mr.
Gotta try
Chance.
real hard.
That's so good.
All right, so you guys are back into to town. This is one of the smaller buildings on the outskirts. So if you're looking at the map here, this is of course just something I dropped in to give you a fighting chance. Let's say it's on this end of town over here.
Okay. And where did we find? We found his body off this kind of direction.
Well, you traced it from his house, from the shack that Billy Ray was staying in, is kind of where you traced it from.
Okay.
And then you traced it to where did you guys go? You went to what was that building called? Well, you traced it from Billy Ray's shack, but to get to Billy Ray's, you went around another place too.
We went through the stable with the big hole.
hostlery. Yeah, the hostlery where there was a spirit there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Well,
You got a few other leads just to remind you. So his best friend Hoxley or Hoxie, you know or you were told where Hoxie's place was. And then Killian has got just a bad feeling about the meat plant, because all the spiritual cows are just they move forlornly at you, and all the eyes pivot and look at the meat plant. The meat plant.
Feel like maybe, just maybe, you're telling us something.
I think so. The question is, what level of escalation do we want here? I think if we go to Huxley's house,
Hoxie.
Hoxie's house, it'll be even. And then when we head to the meat plant, I predict with these cows you're talking about that things are going to go cuckoo bananas.
Yeah, like maybe we just burn it down from the outside and don't mess with it.
I don't think that's the right answer.
No, dang.
That is usually
It's
a good
cuckoo.
answer.
Is cuckoo bananas the best or the worst?
Cuckoo bananas means it will be frantic and hectic and chaotic and full of danger, and it'll be rough.
If it's the worst, we should aim for it.
Well, then let's aim for the worst then. I'm sold. Let
Our
us
level.
look up this meat plant.
And they go right to the meat plant. All right, sounds good. So you don't see any of the indigo trail leading to Rayner's meat market. It's boarded up and dark. The front door has a chain and a padlock on it. Fresh. Chain isn't rusted. The padlock looks new. The front doors and the windows are all boarded up. Back door appears to be open though.
Well, back doors are pretty inviting when they're open, I guess.
Before we go in, I'm going to go ahead and activate my branding iron.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that. And while you're doing that, everybody but you, since you're a little distracted casting a spell, give me a luck check, please.
I forgot my luck is super low now.
We all doing a luck check?
Everybody but McIntyre.
Hey,
Okay, who passed?
Uh,
Let me just go from the top down. So Chance, did you pass?
yes.
Jebediah, did you pass?
Mm-hmm.
You passed. Scab, did you pass?
No.
Okay. Killian, did you pass?
Oui.
Okay. Ivan, did you pass?
I did.
All right. Everybody that passed, please make me an initiative check. Everyone who did not pass and McIntyre going to stand there for a round.
Okay, I don't roll initiative this round.
You do not.
Okay, that's fine. I'm cursing at my branding iron because I completely messed up the spell.
Oh, no. We'll
491
find out what your-
Phantom got me a reroll.
Oh,
Okay. We'll get your results on that at the top of the round. That's basically what you're doing during this.
I upgraded
no
from
idea
a
what
4
else
to
is
a
going
5.
Boom. Great success. Ooh, we got some bits from Adam too.
All right. If everybody would go ahead and make sure that their numbers show up correctly in the turn order tracker.
Oh, mine is not
It
right.
does.
There we go. I fixed mine.
And just let me know when that has occurred.
I accidentally put a second me into the tracker, but they both have the right number.
Everyone
Get
that
to go
passed their
twice.
luck check, what you noticed is that there's someone on the roof waiting, scouting, waiting for someone to come around to the back, and he's taking a bead on you. You happen to all just hear a little ting on the tin roof or happen to see a shadow pass just in time to make yourselves not flat-footed at the beginning of the round, so you can take your action. So it's a pass. So Chance, he's flat down. It's a tough target. He's got some cover.
So he's taking a shot at us.
Yep. He's got a rifle out and he is taking a bead on you folks. You're not exactly sure who he's aiming for, but he's definitely aiming down at you.
Well, I don't like people aiming at me, so I will shoot first. Ask questions, maybe never. Got a 7. Not screwed yet. Let's see what happens. And
Oh, look at that. Chance hit something.
oh, baby.
I do.
Okay. How much points of damage did you do?
It looks like
13 total. It doesn't add your Deadeye die to it.
it'd
Does
be
it?
13.
13.
And
Okay.
let me double check what I get with free bleeder. That's just my
Your basic
default.
Default.
Yeah.
Hot diggity blank.
Because it should move his accuracy down. I should have had the PDF open up. I can tell you that in a second when my computer decides to not be horrible. In the meantime,
Well, if it
I'll go
does
ahead
at
and-
least one extra point of damage, you'll take him down. If not, he's still got a point.
let's see here. Weird Frontiers. Open up. PDF. My apologies for not having this open already.
Blank.
Right? Dude. Get down to the things. Free bleeder at 4. They'll get a -2 to attack rolls. Oh, target will continue to bleed for 1 HP of damage. So whenever their turn comes up, they'll die.
Yeah, they'll get the turn though.
Wound inflicts an additional 1d4 HP.
There you go. So
each
you
round.
shoot him. At first, you're not sure exactly how well the shot is, but then he rolls off the roof and comes tumbling down.
And you got him. Or something,
Right.
you know.
So who is next? Jebediah, are you next?
Yeah. I don't know why it has me in there twice, but
Sound.
I'm a 9.
All right. Scab failed, right? You failed your luck check.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So at a 9, something's going on. So back door seems to be just slightly ajar. Man just rolled off the roof that Chance just hip fired from, took him down. It's amazing. Hit his target.
I know. This is lately the church did me some good.
Yeah. So what do you want to do, Jebediah?
Is
Which
there
I
any
tell
way
you what,
for me?
I'll give you I'll give you a little something else to play on because I also got a 9. So I will give you the description of what's going on. But we'll figure out who's got the faster reflexes. So this lookout, his other 5 men come out the back door, guns blazing. So they push their way through and they just start firing into the lot of you. What's your reflexes, Jebediah?
Like a reflex test, or just what the score is?
Yeah, just what your score is.
It says it's a 1.
Actually, I'm sorry.
I don't know what the two
reflex
numbers
is the
are.
save. What's your agility is what I'm looking for.
9.
9? Oh no, they are faster. They are faster. Yeah. Okay. Well, 5 guys coming out of the back. They fan out a little bit and they just start unloading pistols into everybody. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Glad I got to hit the dirt.
It's McIntyre. They don't bother to shoot at. Everybody else is going to get a shot.
I don't blame him.
All right. Well, I mean, you're just sitting there mumbling at yourself and playing with a branding iron. I mean, how dangerous could you actually be?
Right.
All right. Heavy +2. Okay, here we go. First one shooting. All right. Draw my card. Joker. Black
Which
Joker.
one?
Black Joker. Sorry.
Is that the auto crit success, Joker?
Yeah, I think so. That's not good. God. Sorry. Just need to look up because, despite the fact that I haven't edited much of these rules, I don't play it every day. Yeah. Gun deck, here we go. Actually, it's the opposite. It's Black Joker, automatic misfire.
Ooh, nice. Good for
Okay.
us.
So he's not able to take his second shot, and he's got to clear his gun. So that's 1 down. Then the one that is shooting at Jebediah, card draw, 7. So here's the shot. $15. What's your armor class?
14.
Okay. These are heavy pistols. Okay. So first shot does just a single point of damage. He's got to rate of fire 2. He's going to take a second shot. It's a 10. -1 because of the second shot, so he misses. So grazing wound, just you move just in time and grazes your shoulder, no problem. Scabs shooting at you. The next person, 5. It's first shot. What's your AC?
Less than 15.
Okay. After the first shot, he doesn't take the second one. He's just like, oh, darn it, I just shot a kid. Not getting a good look at you first. There it is. 8 points of damage.
Looks on him.
Oh man, that would look like a terrible wound on the kid too.
Yeah. It's like, I just shot a kid. All right. Next one is Killian's. 2. Blam, 17.
Ooh, that hits.
3 points of damage. He's going to take a second shot. Jack of clubs. Let's see, Jack of clubs. Okay, it's +1. All right.
To attack and damage, yeah.
Yep. What's your AC?
11.
Still hits.
Yeah.
8 points of damage.
Ooh.
They're rolling a D20 for damage.
That's a D10, isn't it? I don't know. It's rolled. Let me re-roll that. Sorry, I hit the wrong note. It should be a D10. My bad. Here, have 3.
Oh,
Why is it
Oh,
saying
it's like-
D20? Oh, it's still saying D20. I'll give you that 3. 3 is a low one, but apparently my D10 is rolling a D20.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's.
I was like, can I get one of those guns, please?
Yeah, those are elephant guns.
Dirty
I'm sorry.
Harry walks out of the
Killian,
back.
was that his first shot against you or his second? I forget.
Second.
It was a second. Okay, and so Ivan is the last one up. Blam, Queen, +2.
Oh no.
17. What's your AC?
Less than that.
All right. And since I know that's not going to work, I'm going to do a D10 this way. 2 points, 4 points of damage. So still, it's not right on target. That's his first shot though. Second shot. Good. 6 hurts. Got to redo that macro. 5 points of damage. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Sorry. I've got to see if he actually hits you first. He misses, so don't worry about it. So these 5 guys just come out and with just military precision. It looks like one stands, one goes to a knee, and one shoots high, one shoots low. They seem to be working in teams of 2, trying to make you either duck right or left, and then the other one is shooting in that direction that he's making you move into. So they're a pretty well-oiled team here. Probably some retired army, perhaps. That was all on 9. Killian, you made your luck check on a 6. What do you do?
Oh boy. Well, that guy
Do
tried
I
to shoot
get
me.
a turn?
Oh yeah, you still get your turn.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. They just got the
Those
jump on you
Achilles
because they
fools.
were faster, but you still
Yeah.
get yours. I guess you get yours.
There's a lot of them. Are they grouped up?
They're pretty close
Or-
together because they all had to come out of the same door. So yeah, they're pretty grouped up.
Well, let's hope I flip a good card on Dead Man's Hand.
Oh, we had a stick of dynamite to throw at their asses.
Right. Flip card 7. I'm just gonna keep going until something cool happens. 8 is 8 something bad with Dead
Yeah.
Man's Hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it brings it basically. Yeah, that brings it to the end. You have to stop pulling cards. And give me a second here. Dead Man's Hand. So you had a 7, you said?
Yeah, which should just be a
Or
like a
an
Mojo
8,
Die
sorry,
magic
an
missile.
8. Misfire.
A 7 and
Suffer
then an
1d8 hit point. I'm sorry.
It was a 7 and then an 8. So I think the 7 is just like the
7 is
normal
fine.
mojo.
7 will go through fine. But on the 8, it's a 1d8 hit points of damage and gain a hex token. And then you lose the charge so that you have to stop. You can reinitiate it next round, but you can't draw more cards.
Okay.
So you take a d8. I'll let you roll it yourself since you did it to yourself. And then go ahead and roll the damage that you do to one of these guys.
Okay. 8. Only a 2.
2. All right.
That's not too bad. And then I'm throwing my mojo die at one of them. 1 damage. Pew.
Ow.
All right.
It's got exploding cards. All right. Killian, how much damage did you do to yourself?
Well, we'll find out.
No, Jebediah. Did you roll for your damage to yourself?
Yeah, I did 2 to myself.
You did 2 to yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Killian, what are you doing?
All right, I'm going to get within 10 feet of these jerks. And I'm going to pull out my revolver and shoot at the fella who shot at me.
Okay. Really don't have to move much. You're pretty much already within 10 feet.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm just going to shoot. Hopefully. 2 of clubs.
Okay.
And I'm going to miss. And then I'm going to take another shot.
Okay. Remember, you're
Or,
you're at a minus for the second shot.
yeah, how do I... Oh, it's just -1, right? Or is it -1D?
You're not a gunslinger, right?
Right.
Well, the second shot is just a -1. You're not trying to fan the hammer or anything, right?
No.
Yeah, the second shot is -1.
Hey, there we go. Well, let me see if I actually hit him. 3 of clubs. All right, so that's good.
Okay.
So that'll do 3 damage to that guy.
3 damage. Okay, so this one.
This pistol has a rate of fire of 3, so I'm going to fire that 3rd shot.
Okay, you're -2 on this one. Go ahead and do the card draw.
And there we go. 7 of hearts.
You're good. Let's see if you hit.
On.
Oh no.
Mercifully, that's not a natural one. So
No, it is not. So it just goes wide. It's tracking. So the first one puts you off slightly, second one goes up, and the third one just right over his head.
it's a double action. I'm not used to the recoil and just
Exactly. All right. So that brings us to Ivan. You made your luck check, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
made my
So
luck
you're at
check.
you're low end of the initiative. Someone just shot at you, grazed your peck.
I just got that help. Good Lord. Well, the problem here is we got a lot of people with ranged, and if I run in there, then I'm in the middle of all this. On the second hand, Ivan's not one to usually back away from a fight once somebody's thrown the gauntlet. So
Is Ivan really one to even, consider tactics? I don't know that he would even consider tactics.
not really, no.
Went on the edge.
Yeah.
Ivan just knows his friends are fighting and they need his help.
All right. So what does
So-
Ivan do?
You said at least one of these guys was kind of down on one knee.
Every other one. So going from like left to right, the ones on the end are both standing up. The two in the middle are down on their knees.
Fantastic. So Ivan, and how far away are they?
Like 10 feet. They're pretty close.
10 feet. Oh, so well within movement. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's gonna immediately just roar and charge in.
Okay.
And what he's gonna do is I'm gonna declare he's gonna attempt a shining wizard on one of the two
yes.
kneeling
Okay.
guys. So let's see if we can get this to pop off.
We have faith in you, Ivan.
Oh,
Oh,
nope.
I think Ivan has to have a crowd. He just really needs a crowd. Without the cheering, it's just not the same. So that's a
we don't
miss.
count.
Yeah. Unless
Yep,
you wanted to
that's a
spend some
miss.
luck, it's a miss.
Let's see here. What is it? How does the luck roll out on that? Because I usually don't do these.
It's 3 points of luck would make that a success if you want to blow 3 points of luck. But that does mean your luck score drops. So when I ask for a luck check, you're less likely to pass it.
Yeah. I think I'll hold on to that for now.
Okay, so it's a miss. And
He slips.
Pierce?
He's got too much oil on his boots.
Pierce, what is the result of your spell casting?
5. So lost
Okay.
failure.
Lost failure.
Yeah.
All right. So when you look up and wondering why your branding iron isn't red hot and ready to go, you're like, oh, blink, as there are 5 folks shooting at you and 1 dead guy that just fell off the roof.
Exciting.
All right. So let's go ahead and roll initiative, everybody. And please enter your initiative in the turn tracker if it doesn't pick it up. Yeah.
Nice.
Ooh, I rolled.
Ooh, look at all those.
There's some high rolls on
Wow.
your side. Unfortunately, my well-trained military unit rolled crappy.
Couldn't get that roll when I was trying to cast a spell.
No, of course not.
You've had a taste of the sweet pugilistic arts now, and you just want more of it. That's you're gonna hang up your spell book, and you're gonna go under Ivan's tutelage. I see it now.
Okay, that must be it. Yeah.
The military men are rolling low because they're distracted by Ivan's shiny bulge flying. by their
One of them's
faces.
definitely distracted because he shot a kid. Or at least he thinks he shot a kid.
That's also true.
Only he knew.
Pierce.
I mean, he technically did.
Pierce and Scab, whichever one of you wants to go first, you can go ahead and decide amongst yourselves.
Scab, I'll let you take it.
The guy across from you is like, "Oh, sorry, kid, I didn't know."
You didn't know. You didn't know we were coming out of church. You shot us. They just got blank and healed up. You dirty blank.
Pardon his French.
So I will. I'll use the dead poke, dark inheritance,
Yeah.
and I will choose for my aspect. I will choose the aspect of the bull. It's very similar to what you saw on the train. He just turns around. He's got this gaping chest wound, and he just gets so angry that he's still the height of a child, but he just swells out like a boiled sausage.
He's all swole now.
He's all swole. So the first thing you need to do is roll a d14.
I'm going to stop having you guys make grit checks over his shenanigans. You've kind of gotten used to it.
Good, because I keep failing them.
And then, sorry,
I'm scared.
Where's my hit dice? It's a d14. It is a d14. Sorry. Go. Okay, so I'm going to get an extra 13 hit points. And then any damage I take will be 1 dice lower, and they have to roll twice and take the lower of the 2.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
Dang.
And then he's just going to follow Ivan's suit and just go charging in.
Okay.
And hit
I'm the one
somebody
that
with-
shot you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it just, to reward him for feeling bad about hitting a kid.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
I will.
Oh, oh my gosh.
13
What does that look
damage.
like? He had 12 hit points. He had 12 hit points. So what did that look like?
I just come charging at him. Don't you know my friends have been in such bad shape for so long? You're such a bad man.
And he just takes the shepherd's crook, and it kind of like has the tip of the crook go in, but he's swinging downward, and it just goes through the back of his head and out his mouth and yanks him to the ground. And then he wrenches it out and stares at the next one.
Ivan's literally just standing there staring at him like, oh my God.
Pierce.
Why won't you just leave us alone?
Oh God. So there's
That's
some.
your adopted son right there.
Yeah.
There's 4 of them left.
All right, and they're on the ground. There's none on the roof anymore, correct?
There's none on the roof anymore. Well, as far as you can tell.
Okay. How far are they from the building?
They're just like a few feet outside of the door. They literally just walked out of the door, spread out in front of it, and started shooting.
Cool.
And you were standing back a little bit while you were casting your spell. So we're going to say you're maybe 15 feet away.
Not a problem. I'm going to cast Instant Cactus. Blocking any possible chance of retreat or reinforcements from coming out. So I'm aiming
for the doorway
behind them, right in front of the doorway.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to spell burn this because I've been doing real bad. So I am going to pull out my knife. I'm going to spell burn 5 strength because I don't need strength. And I'm going to cut my pinky off.
Oh, this is how Pierce spends so much time in hospitals.
I'm going to save it for Scab, so don't worry, it's not going to waste. Yeah, then I'm going to roll a d20.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
I haven't rolled yet.
Actually, I don't see it. Yeah, I was looking at
never
Scab.
mind. It moved for a second there.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. It just kind of jumped.
So yeah, it's a d20 plus 7 for this.
Oh Lord.
19. I'll take it.
All right. What's your result?
All right. Instant cactus. So pipe organ cactuses explode behind them. I call forth 1d3 plus 1 pipe organ cactus. Each additional cactus sprouts up randomly within 15 feet of the first. So the main one I'm going for is right there blocking their path to the
and
door.
then we'll randomly figure out. We'll roll a d8 and we'll say an 8 is right in the direction of where they are. But see how many there are first.
Yeah. 1d3 plus 1. An additional 2. So I spawn 3 cactus.
Roll 2d8 for me. If either one shows up as an 8, one of them is going to spawn right underneath one of these guys.
5 and a 4.
Yep. So they spread out inside the room. Like you can hear them bursting through the wood floors as they grow up through the floorboards. Okay. It's completely sealed them off from going back in. Of course, it's also closed off the back entrance for you guys as well. But that's neither
We'll
here
cross
nor there.
that when we get there.
Gives us to chance at a 19.
It's time to attempt to mow some people down. We'll probably start with the guys who are standing and aren't in melee. So that way,
Yep.
less likely to cause harm. Got a king. That's a plus 3. Nice.
Nice.
Let's see how it rolls. Oh,
I don't think that rolled right.
no. Would it be easier to just re-roll it?
Yeah, well, the math didn't come through. You rolled a 7 on a d20. Then you got an extra 5 on it. So that's a 12.
So it'd be 12.
Yeah.
All right. I tell you what. Why don't you re-roll? That would be a miss, but I'll give you the re-roll.
Well, I saw my Deadeye die, which isn't on it either. It'd make it a 16.
Okay. Yeah, we'll keep it then if you'd like it. That's fine.
Sure.
10 points of damage is awfully nice. You're shooting one of the one.
Deadeye.
You're shooting the only one that's still on his knees, then, right?
I was gonna go with one of the standing ones.
Oh, one of the standing ones. Okay,
Yeah.
right, got you. How many points of damage total?
It'd be 17 total.
17. Okay. How does that one go down?
I assume it's just rain in the face.
One bullet. It's one shot. You're doing really well today, Chance.
I know.
Something is going to go really wrong later.
That means something's gonna go really wrong because I'm gonna keep shooting.
Okay. It's your first shot.
People to ambush you all
Now
the
you're
time.
changing targets and you're going from one end to the other.
Yeah, I'm basically just starting at the left and working across. It's a 3, so nothing wrong at least. It's a nat 20.
Oh,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Oh, word.
Well, what's the damage? You
The-
don't have to roll the crit unless you want to just see what it does because the damage alone is enough to kill him.
Okay.
Let's see what the crit is.
I'm curious because, I only get to do this once in a while.
Maybe we can just mentally break one of them so they surrender.
Is there
Do you
a
do you currently have a positive luck?
I do.
Just add that to your roll.
I'm trying to figure out what my crit die is because it's cut off. It just says D1.
I got you. Give me a second.
I think I gotta look at my sheet for it.
You're a gunslinger, right?
Yeah, let me get down there.
And you guys are what level now?
2, I think.
You got a D10.
D10. And for this, it matters what my luck currently is, or
Yeah, it's your current luck bonus.
dang.
The only time it
are you
matters
guys
what your
not seeing
original luck
the-
bonus is at birth. Basically, your birth.
Are you
offer.
guys not seeing the chances roll stuff on there? Because it looked like it rolled a critical on that.
Yeah. It had rolled a 3 and a +1.
Yeah. So
Oh, it
gave
did.
Still,
4.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it did.
Yeah. It
Awesome.
automatically rolled the critical.
It sure did.
Oh, I did.
I did. Good,
Critical
good job.
1d10 a 4. Okay, I rolled a 4.
Good job.
But you
reading.
got what? You have a positive luck though, right? How many points positive?
It did it right.
That-
It was +1,
That
right?
counts
Oh, it
the.
did.
Yeah,
Okay.
it counted it.
Yeah.
All right. Target's calf bursts in a spray of gore for an additional 2d6 damage. So yeah, you basically blow his calf off and he bleeds to death.
For 8 more points of meaningless damage.
Yeah. So there's still 2 standing after Chance and Ivan. You're up.
I'd still get one more shot.
Oh, that's true.
Fantastic.
Uh,
Oh yeah, he's got another
yeah, you
shot.
got the shot. You got it off. Let's see if you can hit the target.
Let's go until disaster strikes. It'd be a 9.
Okay, and I'm assuming you're going to shoot at one that is not engaged with Ivan, so that you're not
Correct.
shooting into a crowd.
Yes.
All right, so that's just a miss.
Good enough. I'll take hitting 3 people in a night. It's got to be like an all-time record.
Ivan the bear is up next.
All right. There's 2 still standing. You said.
There's 2 still standing, and you're in melee with one of them.
Okay. Are any of them still on the ground at all, like kneeling, or are they both down?
Technically, they haven't had a turn yet. So you were going after one that was kneeling. So this one's still kneeling.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to. I want to try a Hurricane Rana,
Mm-hmm.
which I think means I'm going to have to kind of leap into the air and come down on him. I don't know if that changes at all since he's kneeling. Since I'm coming on his head, I figure probably
You just don't
not.
have to jump as high.
If you can hit this
but
guy
it's,
with a Hurricane Rana from a kneeling position, his head is going in the earth.
It's high flying leap. The luchador jumps to the shoulders of their opponent and executes a head scissors takedown while rolling through and capturing both legs of the opponent, pinning the opponent to the ground. So I'm trying to pin this guy. I basically want to knock him prone and
Yeah,
grapple
that's the
him.
special
I
effect,
figure
so-
we probably want to ask one of them some questions because they just came out of nowhere.
All right. So, okay,
Nice.
that's a special effect, though, unless you want that as your whole action. So when you choose something like that, you're still making a melee attack. And then
Right,
that's
it's still an attack. I'm just trying to see if I'm just calling that shot before I go.
Yep.
All right, so let's see if it actually pops off.
Oh!
Oh, nat 20.
Yeah.
It doesn't pop the lucha die though. It
Yeah.
doesn't pop the lucha die.
So you don't get your special. You do crit on that. You get
Yep.
9 points of damage. He's still up. This one actually had the most hit points.
And then a 9
So
on your
it's
crit. dice.
I wanna see
7
the-
for damage and 9 on the crit die.
All right. So a 9.
Or yeah,
on-
9 damage, 9 on crit die.
Nice.
There's a whole different wrestling crit
on
chart,
the
too.
wrestling crit chart.
I love that so much.
Kidney thief. Wrestler catches target in a vulnerable position, which makes sense. Directing a powerful strike to a kidney. The attack as an extra D12. Go ahead. Roll an extra D12.
Oh God!
Oh, that kills him outright.
I kick his
yeah.
kidney out the front of him.
Hit him with a shining wizard right in the kidney. It pops out his mouth.
What do you know? Kidneys are kidney shaped.
Oh my!
Picture in the Mortal Kombat like punch. You see his bones break.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're just ripping that straight out from the front.
Killian, one poor SOB left who hasn't had a turn come up for him to run. What do you want to do?
That's his friend's kidneys just got ripped out in front of him. Oh!
Oh man.
I did not mean to go that hard.
I'm going to cast Bone Dance.
Okay.
And I'm going to animate all of his friends as zombies.
Oh God.
Oof. Okay. Yeah, so a bunch of spirits step forward from the near and just ride their corpses, slide them on like suits.
Yeah, and they'll be doing that for an additional 5 turns.
Okay. Give me a second.
I think I'm satisfied with that.
I think no, I just need to check something. I think they can actually act this turn as well.
Oh my
Ooh.
word.
I know they have a -1 to their initiative,
Mm-hmm.
or -1 die.
I'll tell you what, I will let them have an attack at the end of the initiative. We'll do
All
it
right.
that way. Okay, so his friends get up. One of them missing a kidney. One of them have a big old hole through the back of his head, going through the front of his face. Several of them with just bullet holes all over the place. And the last guy is left. He looks around. He's got his dead friends coming back. There's cactus behind him. You're in front of him. He's got nowhere to go. He throws his gun down. Gerald Jessup, I-14953, rank and serial number, sir. I hereby surrender.
Hey, I got a prisoner.
That's what
Wasn't
you
the one I
wanted.
tried for.
Put him in a full Nelson.
Yeah, there you go. Just immediately he gets tackled blindsided and knocked to the ground.
He has a gun.
Don't you Russians know what surrender means?
Oh, we are
They
not.
don't.
I don't understand the meaning of it, you dirty blank.
That is
that
a
you
good
just
use
friend's
of the
kidney?
word. Yeah.
It's like,
What does surrender mean?
Oh yeah, I'll toss my finger to
ask the
Scab.
Frenchman. No.
I'm gonna
As
take a
everybody
shot.
else in the party, as everybody but Killian laughs at that, I turn around and goes, "What means this joke?"
Oh boy.
All right, who
The
wants
better
to do
question to ask is, what means all this here at the slaughterhouse?
Right. So the guy is pinned down by Ivan, who's doing his best approximation of a human pretzel to this poor guy. Yeah. However, you've got cactuses blocking your way in. The only entrance, as far as you can tell, unless you want to go and break some locks on the other end.
I mean, we've got some lock picks. Pew, pew.
No, not just that. I'm just going to tell his friends to go break open the door.
Oh, that's also true.
Okay.
Maybe
You have the
that he
zombie
can-
squad. Yeah, just basically they hurl themselves at the door, never minding the further damage. I mean, they're already dead. What can it really do to them? They just hurl themselves at the door until the door just collapses inward.
Just graphically further disfigure themselves.
Exactly. The inside is dark and cold. There's several hooks set into the beams along the ceiling. There's a dozen sides of salted beef slowly twisting on the hooks, moved by the wind from the outside now that you've opened the door. There's a heavy tarp hangs at the end of the room. There's a stairway towards the back going down into yet even more darkness. Oddly, though, you hear singing, almost like a choir, coming from down those stairs.
We want to ask our pretzel man outside what the heck's going on here? Or?
I don't like that.
No.
Well, it all depends on how Ivan, are you letting him off the dust, off the ground?
I imagined I jumped on him and put him in like an arm and leg lock, face down first. So when you guys say you want to talk to him, I just roll over on my back and hold him up.
Okay. So what do you ask him?
Oh, what the heck is going on here?
Well, it's revelation time. Mr. Gant is opening the doors. He's opening the doors to heaven. He's going to show us all the way of the true gods.
And he's doing it at a slaughterhouse.
Well, Mr. Gant says it needs a disproportionate amount of suffering and blood to open up these gates to the great city beyond. Only a few will revel in its true nature.
You're real confused about which way these doors go when there's lots of suffering.
I'll admit I'm pretty bad at math, but I'm pretty sure there's only one God, and that doesn't need an S at the end.
Everybody make me a luck check.
Oh, no.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I failed.
There we go. And you and
I failed by a lot.
God. My luck is even higher than it used to
Wow.
be, but it's still not good enough.
Anyone pass?
I did.
I did.
Of course.
All
At
right.
least I did
Ivan
roll
and
a nat
Chance,
20.
elated by your victory, buoyed up by that shot of adrenaline. You two happen to notice that those there slabs of meat that are just twisting in the wind on the hooks, there's not all that much wind out here. Turn around to look, and as you watch, a couple of those sides of beef just kind of flip themselves off the hooks. They land on the dirt with a sploot sound, and then there's this heavy whump as the sides of beef just kind of inchworm towards you. This whump, slide, whump, slide. Two more twist themselves off the hooks as they slump to the ground with a wet smack sound, and then just like giant worms, you hear this
Killian?
smack.
Killian?
This is very unpleasant.
Also, maybe Scab?
What?
A lot
Yeah,
of
this is
meat.
basically like a buffet for Scab.
Yeah, it's self-serve.
Yeah, I'm just gonna tell the zombies to start chowing down.
I like my steak well
Scab food
tenderized.
party.
So did you roll? How many rounds do they last for? Did you roll for that?
5, I think.
5, yeah.
Rounds. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they go in, and as they get close to these things, the creatures they're thick. Just you've seen sides of beef that have been carved off. They're heavy. They still got their bones. They just kind of curl, and they use their bodies just to bat your undead minions to the side. You hear it crunching a bone, and pretty sure if they have the ability to scream, they would be. I'm just going to make me some attack rolls here.
My.
They have an AC of 10, if that helps.
Okay. Yeah, 2 of your zombies are just the sides of beef just kind of raise up and slam down, and 2 of your zombies are just flattened beneath these just weighty, meaty
Mr.
worms.
Hostage. Also, what blank.
This is a grit check. Now that everyone's brought to the idea of what's going on here, and these undead minions are set forward, you see these sides of beef acting like inchworms as they slump their way towards you.
I think I passed my first grit check I've ever made playing Weird Frontiers just now.
All right,
What's the
just go
DC?
from the top to the bottom. Pierce, did you pass for? Actually, yes. The DC is. Hold on here. Beef revenants. They are 5. Oh my gosh.
I got a nat
It's a
20.
13.
I got a 22.
It's a 13. You're fine.
I am
Hey, I mean,
great.
what's an animated side of beef? I
Right?
mean, really.
This is
Do you
just
burn luck on these?
Yeah, you can. Chance. Did you
I actually passed.
You
I
passed.
passed with 17.
Jebediah, you gonna roll some luck to pass, or is it too far?
Yeah, you said it's a 13 that we need to hit?
well 13. You need to hit a 13.
Okay. Yeah, I'll burn 2 and then see if I need more.
Or if you have a boon, you could re-roll, right?
That's a good point.
I don't have any because you don't get to keep your boons, right?
No.
Every
not
session.
between
They
sessions. Yeah.
Yep, they reset.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
4 points.
Cool.
Does that give you enough?
Yeah, that brings me from my 9 to 13. So
All right. So far, save. Scab.
No.
Really?
I just learned that my bones don't carry over. Otherwise, I would have re-rolled.
All right.
I rolled a
Scab.
4.
All
I
right.
didn't fumble. But
This is
only
definitely
barely.
meat that you're not too enthused about eating. Actually, because you're kind of in tune to it, this is bad meat because undead don't like to eat undead meat. It's not nourishing. There's no life force there.
Mhm.
A little hideous towards you. All right, so you failed. You failed your check.
Mhm.
All right, let us look at the fear table. How much did you fail by?
Failed by
13.
9.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
All right, roll a d20.
You have
If you have positive luck, subtract it. If you have negative luck, add it, and then add the 9. Oh my gosh.
Did it roll? I can't see.
I see a 16 on the screen from a
So
d20
16 minus 1 goes to 15.
All right, and then plus 9, or did you add the plus 9 to the roll?
No,
already?
so 15, but then plus 9, 24.
Okay, 24. You feel waves of fear overwhelm you, making what would normally seem an insane reaction seem perfectly logical. You feel certain that showing the source of the fear that you have no fear of dying will help win the day. Your next action to inflict harm upon yourself. The source of the fear will ignore you as long as it has low level of intelligence, which it does, as it assumes you're ending your own life. You may attempt to pass the failed grit check each round to regain your senses and stop the self-harm. So basically, you're attacking yourself until you can pass that grit check.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's great.
it doesn't say how you have to. Just use your next action to inflict harm upon yourself. And then you can try the grit check again and to break out of that cycle. You're basically like, I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of dying. Look what I'm doing to myself.
Punching yourself or something.
Yeah, punching
Mhm.
yourself. Okay, so that was Scab. How's Killian? How did you do, Killian?
I passed.
You passed. Okay.
I critically passed, in fact.
Even better. So you're never going to be awkward around undead sides of beef again. Ivan, how did you do?
I have a very deep and almost religious relationship with red meat.
Okay.
Ivan rolled a 2.
Oh no. Okay. Well, since your target was a 13, you're going to roll a d20, add 11 to it. But do you have any positive luck?
I do. I have a
Positive luck modifier.
modifier of 1. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to add a 10 to your d20 roll.
$21.
21. Okay. The source of the terror plays directly upon a childhood fear and takes you down the path you spent a lifetime trying to forget. Where did the beef touch you?
El Toro.
You lose control of all body functions and pass out for 1d10 rounds or until
Oh
roused.
god.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
wow.
So, just for flavor, I'm going to throw out there that as a rather large young lad, there was a time where nobody could find the pistol they used to put down the cow before slaughter.
Oh, no.
And I was forced to do it manually by breaking its neck.
Oh, it's come back to
That
haunt
kind of
you.
traumatized me.
All
So
right. So you void
yeah.
yourself.
I've soiled my garb and fallen down and fallen
Right.
asleep.
So you
Are
can
you
be
still
roused.
holding the guy?
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm still holding the guy up. So
So he's free. Yeah. All right. So anyone can rouse you as an action. And then when you get back, you're at a -1d penalty until you change your drawers.
what was it? A D10 rounds I have to hit?
D10
Oh,
or
the
until
D-
someone rouses you. So someone
I'll go
can
ahead
take
and
an
roll the
action to
D10
rouse
just to know how many rolls, just in case. Oh, so 9 rounds
Oh
if nobody
my
rouses me.
God.
you.
It's a long time to lay in my soiled breeches.
It's
Do
horrible.
we? He's like, do you want to touch him? I don't.
That poor guy who's in the pretzel hold, though. I mean,
Just lands in a pile of oil.
He just-
Oh no, he's
He
free
just
now.
hears a
He's free.
weird noise and then slides down off of somebody who smells awful.
So I've fought in many battles and I've never seen a sight. Oh my gosh. And just loses his lunch off to the side.
but wait, there's more.
Actually, no, that's true. Hold on a minute. He needs to make a grit check.
He's seen some stuff.
Oh yeah.
Does he? Yeah. Does he
He's
have to
seen
make a
some
grit
stuff.
check after seeing me?
The sides of beef for nothing. Watching a grown man crap his drawers, however.
Yeah.
In tights.
Oh God, you can
Nonetheless.
just see it.
Oh no, he's growing a tail.
It's like straining through the back.
Look at
It's like
that.
watching
For some watchers. As
It's a paintball goes through a strainer.
Okay.
okay, guys. Right. So Ivan drops. We're not in initiative yet because these things they seem to be taking care of your undead folk real well. And you haven't kind of gotten in the room, and you notice they're kind of awkward moving as they got no sensory organs considering they've got no head, eyes, mouth. But they do seem to be drawn towards movement, perhaps some other supernatural sense, but they move fairly slow, but they are just combining together, and like two of them get in with one of the undead in between and just kind of whap and just turn them into a bunch of bloody bits and bones.
Or do we?
No initiative yet. You just tell me what you want to do. They're
Yeah.
kind of
I want
they're further
Dead Man's
back, and
Hand
you
it.
guys are like right at the front doors.
Do we just shoot them from here? Or
How many? There's 2 of them.
There's 4 of them.
4 of them. Okay.
I kind of want to like re-suggest burning the building down again.
I want to flip a few cards at him and see if I get anything that'll. deal with
Okay.
it.
We're going to do this out of action for right now. So you go ahead, Jebediah.
Okay. First card. 7.
Okay.
King of Diamonds.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't know what that does.
Yep, that's
Plus
a special
3.
one. No, for a
This
gambler,
card
it
trick.
does something different. Yeah.
Okay.
King
Yeah.
of what? King of
King of
Diamonds?
Diamonds. Yeah.
The card bursts to a flock of ghostly avians centered on the gambler that immediately scatter outward in all directions. Surrounding friends and foe within 50 foot radius are thrown 1d30 plus 5 feet per caster level. Affected targets suffer 1d6 damage per 10 feet thrown and land prone. Oh my gosh.
How are you gonna kill us?
Scatter outward in all directions, friends and foes. So everybody is thrown. Oh my
Oh.
gosh. That's per caster level.
Are we level 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just start at the top to find out what goes on here. Pierce, roll 2d30 plus 10.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's,
Oh no.
2
I didn't know it could backfire like that.
yep.
51.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna kill us all.
Roll 5d6.
Oh God. This can definitely kill me. And it does.
Oh! Are you up or down?
Oh, I'm down.
I'm down.
And a broken bone too. You rolled a 6 in there. So are you past 0?
I
Yeah.
had 11 hit points, so that took me 6 below max.
Okay. We can roll the body after. You're flung. Chance. How did you
If there's
do?
anyone left to roll the body.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
You're
Does it do it to me as well?
No, you're in the center. It flies outward from you.
Oh no. Okay.
Okay. Chance, your broken body gets slammed against something as well. Everybody hears the sickening crack of bone.
Chance, did you roll though?
Roll what?
2d30 plus 10.
Oh, we each roll it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was just we're all taking the
Nope,
same.
nope.
damage.
Nope.
All right. Let's see how much worse this can be. Much worse.
No, it's
No, it's
4d6. So
20-30.
roll 4d6.
Oh,
Wait, so Dan, you need to roll 2d30 plus 10.
oh, I rolled it. Okay. Sorry. I didn't realize I was doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's how many feet. And then every 10 feet's a d6 of damage. So
Okay.
3d6. Roll 3d6.
Well, maybe I'll survive this. Okay.
Yeah, 9 points of damage.
I'll survive that.
Scab.
I thought it was like a fixed thing, like we're all getting blasted equally.
Let me roll something real quick. Are we still potentially within 5 rounds of when I did my sausage
Yes.
up thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're
first
still beefy and swole.
Okay, good. So first I'll do my roll 2d30 plus 10. Good God.
2d30 plus 10. That's how far you're flung. So under 4, so it would be 3d6 worth of damage.
Okay, so I'll roll 3d4 twice and take the least.
Mhm.
That's nice.
So I could either take 7 or I'll take the 7.
Take 7. I'm sure that you're still up. Killian!
Oh boy.
I didn't know this could go so badly.
You're not even done yet. You're not even done yet either.
That's considered a good draw. It doesn't stop unless you want to stop. So 5d6 for Killian.
You know what? I'm going to spend my boon to re-roll. that.
Okay. Yeah, you do
The
that.
good news is we'll be really
idea.
from you now.
Okay,
Yeah.
2d6.
Oh, that's better.
Okay,
Oh,
6 damage. This is the one guy. Oh, he's dead.
Oh, God.
Ripperoni.
He got shat on and thrown across town.
He's looking at the sludge leaking its way out of your drawers, and he's blown. You hear the snap of his neck as he hits a piece of building. He's dead.
Instead of
so
have to give him the
Killian.
talk about not saying what I can do.
So Ivan, actually, you're already down. You're prone. So I
Yeah.
tell you what, you roll 1d30.
As you scoot across the ground.
Yeah.
And you've got a
Just go
cushion.
sliding.
There's gonna be some track marks here. In a second.
That'd be horrible.
Put some
Skid
real,
marks.
yeah.
Just 1d30, Bert.
Just 1d30. Speaking, you're already prone. You can't be blown off your feet, so you really can't suffer much. So
I'm big
that's
boy.
not
I don't
even a
go very
D6.
far.
It's not even a D6. You just get scooted as you leave a brown trail behind you.
You just get the trail of dirty dirt.
All right. That didn't see. Well, actually, you know what? This is King of Diamonds, so 50-foot radius. Actually, all the enemies are within 50 foot as well.
We'll get
So-
something good out of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to point out when it's time to roll my body, I have 4 luck.
Oh no.
Oh, no. Did you burn it?
Man, I just got my new stepdad.
Yeah.
It figures.
You're going to be an orphan
Well, if
again.
Ivan ever wakes up, he'll be your new stepdad.
Oh, God.
It's a death sentence. You don't know how many families I've had. I'm what they call a serial orphan.
That's okay. When I die, I leave you the mask and you become my lineage.
Oh, that's so good.
They say he died, but then he came back.
Yeah.
Nice.
A little shorter and full of holes.
2 of the beef things get flown into the air, and they get hooked by all the dangling hooks, and they're kind of shredded as they just get thrown through all the hooks. So 2 of them die. 2 of them are still active, however, although they took some damage.
Flip another card.
Just finish everybody off. Why don't you?
God.
A 9? That's just a magic missile.
Right. So far you've gotten just 2 magic missiles off. You're going to keep drawing?
Yep.
Okay.
10.
Okay. That's 3
4.
magic missiles. That's 4 magic missiles.
4.
5.
Queen of Spade.
Okay. Queen of
All of your
Spades.
friends are dead.
Yeah.
Don't know
Yeah,
about
Queen of
It depends on how
Spades.
far back
The
we've been
cards swirl
flung.
over the head of the gambler, pulling moisture from the atmosphere in the bodies of up to 1d4 plus cast over targets within 50 feet. You've all been blown more than 50 feet away. Affected targets have the moisture from their bodies drawn out, causing excruciating dehydration.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Affected targets must pass a DC 12 fort save to avoid suffering 1d4 points of temporary stamina loss per round. Okay, so there's nobody in radius of this to affect, and you are unaffected by it.
Okay.
But
Great.
yeah.
I'll be flipping.
Another card.
I'm not convinced that these are actually good for us.
1. Well, I shot a giant fireball once, so I liked that.
Going for that plan to burn it down.
6. I was hoping something like that would happen.
Could have just lit it on fire without this.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That was a 2. I'm gonna do one more.
Okay. So what are you up to? That's 5 positive magic missiles or 6?
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7 positive magic missiles. Okay.
And then a Jack of Hearts.
Okay, Jack of Hearts. That's actually a good one. The card spins in the air over the gambler's head, spitting out 1d4 balls of fire at one or more targets. So you get to choose within 50 feet. Nothing's within 50 feet, though.
Okay.
Otherwise, it automatically hits the target, but everything's over 50 feet away because you've blown everything.
Is there anything of like particular? Is there like anything in the building that looks important?
The building? No, it's actually it's basically just a dry air hangar for sides of beef. There's nothing really in here. There's stairs going down, but that's past 50 feet away from you. That's not really any great targets.
Okay, I'll stop flipping then.
Yep.
So that'll be
1,
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
And just roll that.
7.
Just roll all your mojo dice worth of damage.
Okay.
We'll just take the lump sum, just roll it all, and that's probably going to be enough.
18.
Nice.
18, that's enough because they were all damaged by the wind buffet effect. So that finishes them as your cards of energy go slamming into these sides of beef, and there's this pleasant aroma of barbecue on the air.
It's hopefully drowning out Ivan.
Yeah. So everything's quiet, although you can still hear like the choir singing voices coming from downstairs.
You gotta tell us before you do that next time.
I didn't know it could do that. I am so sorry.
Who's potentially dead? Pierce?
Me.
Yes.
All right, now hold on a second. Your second level, so as you go up higher in levels, you have a larger chance of. Give me a second. Let me get to this real quick.
Is there any way I can like spend luck or anything to help with that? Like
you can spend boons on someone's behalf, but you can't spend. Actually, does your class allow you to spend luck on others' behalf? I know halflings do. I don't remember if it translated to this one or not.
I don't know.
But boon spend, you can give an ally plus 1d modifier to their next action, and rolling the body would count.
I don't have any abilities written down that say that.
I don't think
you
you can. I think it's just for you.
Yeah. Well, I'll very nervously go to flip Pierce's body.
There is a thing. The gambler may also rub some mojo on a friend needing a boost. Using luck this way works out similar by rolling the mojo die for each point spent.
There we go. Okay, so you can. Yeah.
Okay.
Gamblers are awesome.
They are.
Yeah. You're gambling with Pierce's life.
You are.
Yeah, it's great. I can gamble to make you not die for my spell.
Or maybe that was his intention the entire time.
I'm going to give. So he gets like mojo die added to the luck roll to flip his body.
I assume it would take away from it in this case.
Right.
Well, if rolling the body, I've got to roll a 4 or less.
4 or less.
So
yeah, give me just a second though, because as
this
you go
might
up
be a
in
gray
level,
area. We may have
what's it
gray
modified
area.
by?
bleeding out. Here we go. This is 1 round per level. So you were at like negative several points, right?
I was at negative 6 points.
Right. So as you go up in level, you can go that many rounds negative. It's still like if you're 2 levels, you can go 2 rounds before you bleed out.
Okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna roll my luck.
So you still have to
So
hit
what
a
I'm
4?
saying is, you could go 2 rounds. You have a
okay.
round per level to be
You get
stabilized.
two
So-
shots to make it.
Well,
No,
no,
it
you
doesn't
can
even have to roll.
stabilize him. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to
Oh.
roll. You can stabilize him.
Okay.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
the bonus to
let's
being
do that.
higher than first level or higher than 0 level.
Oh, so we can just get your shit together,
Yeah.
Pierce.
Yep, you just patch him up as best you can.
Someone patch me up.
Well, I did keep a 1d10 recovery item.
You revive at 1 hit point. You're no longer bleeding out. And you're -4 to all rolls for the next hour. But you're alive, and you don't have to roll for luck.
Yeah, it was from Our Lady on the boat.
Oh, nice.
Good here.
Yeah.
You should
I was
roll your
saving
luck
this for
test just to
me.
see if you would have lived. I'm curious. Okay.
No.
Good
Well-
thing you're a higher level.
Yeah, it's fine. I wouldn't have been upset if Pierce died. I would have made a mountebank.
Well, go ahead and take yourself a d10 of recovery.
3. Okay. I'll take 4 HP.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, you do have a broken bone though.
Okay.
You did roll a 6 there, so you have a broken bone.
Cool.
That's just something. It doesn't have a game effect except for when you're trying to be healed. The bone has to be healed in that chart.
Okay.
So you just role play the fact that what broke.
I'm gonna roll a D10.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna roll a D8, starting with my right arm at 1 and 2. Now I'm gonna do a D10. 1 to 2 are ribs, and then 3, 4 right arm, right leg, right arm. Going around.
Sure.
Right arm.
Oh no,
Right
that's
arm.
his Brandon arm. It's his favorite.
It is. I like that arm a lot. But it's okay. I'm in great pain. Ouch.
Oh, you want to sit out? Or what you want to do?
I'll just follow behind slowly.
You
I refuse to inform you that
Distance
Ivan is
myself a little
dead.
bit.
Ivan is dead. He has soiled himself. It's all over for him.
Wait, is
I
that-
can't even
Yeah,
see
he's-
his spirit anywhere.
He's oddly snoring.
Yeah. We'll wake him up too. We should draw sticks.
No one wants to touch him.
I'll go get him.
Here,
Oh, you have
Cowboy
a stick.
scab.
Just go ahead and just poke him with it. Gently.
I've cleaned up worse.
Yeah, so until the broken bone is healed, you have to reduce either agility or strength until that bone is healed by a point. You choose agility or strength.
Any of you fellas have a spoon on you?
how much do I lose agility or
1 point from the broken bone, but it stays until that bone is healed. So
Curious
it takes
what
a
you want
week
to do
to
then.
heal a bone normally, or no, excuse me, a month to heal it normally without any kind of magical aid.
you know what? I'm gonna take it to strength and move my strength down to 2.
Pierce is just a broken man.
Yeah.
Just a broken man. Oh dear gosh. Okay, so the room is cleared. The chanting doesn't seem to have changed at all. Actually, it sounds like a choir singing.
I'm going to go ahead and spend a personality now to go ahead and reload.
Oh, I'm gonna wipe my hands off on our dead soldier friend. Then I'm gonna take a bite.
Okay, yeah.
I did my best to clean you up there, Ivan, but you're gonna need to get that washed.
I'm
I'm
gonna look.
until you can change your drawers or just take them off.
I did my
I-
best to clean him out.
I'm gonna look down at them, and I'm just gonna say, I have suffered a massive defeat. And then I'm gonna walk away, grab one of the soldiers who is still wearing pants,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna kind of drag him around back the other side of the building for a second.
You are
And I'm gonna come back wearing some kind of ripped off
Yep.
Daisy Duke style pants.
It's like you're about Ivan's size.
Yeah, not quite.
Oh,
Okay.
Well,
The the choir singing continues downstairs.
Well, I don't. Do we want to try and be quiet, or do we just go for it?
I mean,
We haven't been quiet.
we haven't been
Is there
quiet
only
so
one
far.
staircase down?
Say that again.
There's just the one staircase down?
Just the one staircase going down.
I mean, they are singing, and they're probably real into what they're doing.
Is it like a straight
Straight
staircase, or
down.
does it like bend at all?
Nope, it's straight down, like it's going into like a root cellar.
Okay. Is there a door at the bottom, or does it?
You need to go and take a look because it's dark down there. No lights.
Boy,
Okay.
Well, if you want someone who can be fine with the darkness, I can go forward a bit.
That may not be a bad idea. Scout ahead and see what you can find.
I'll be right behind you.
So yeah, I will. At this point, I'm sure the sausage body will have faded. And then
Yeah.
now,
I'll be about 50 feet behind you to Jebediah.
and as he's wiping
Yeah.
off the last of the fecal matter, just takes a deep breath, and some of the shadows in the room just kind of draw themselves around him, and he kind of gets this weird, like, aura about him as he just kind of becomes one with the shadow and goes walking down in.
All right, you go down this flight of stairs, and it does end in a door. Behind it, you can see a little bit of flickering light at the bottom edge and around the edges of the door. It's a solid door, no window looking in. You can hear the choir sounds from in, and again, it sounds like it's a church service. Their angelic voices singing out a choir song.
I don't know. We didn't really work out any sort of system, did we?
Is the song in English, or
Scab will do his best. Like Scab is stupid as all get out. He realizes we didn't set up any sort of communication system, so he assumes he needs to send a signal. So he just looks at whoever seems to be the one leading the choir.
Well,
And he
you don't see
charges.
them unless you go through the door. The door's closed. You just hear them behind the door.
Okay, he'll try his best to quietly open the door.
Okay. You open the door and you push it, and you hear a little tin can rattle on the other end. Choir goes quiet. And then you hear somebody yell out, "Skip to the end!" And then the chanting starts again.
Skip to the end. Say I do.
I'm gonna run. Am I able to hear that on the stairs?
Oh wait,
behind him?
did you say you were right behind him?
Yeah, I said I was right behind him.
If you were right behind him,
Downstairs.
you heard the tin can rattle on the ground when he pushed open the door, and you hear somebody inside yell, "Skip to the end!"
All right. I feel like throwing a card in the room. See
All right.
what happens.
So this is important now. Go ahead and everybody roll initiative for me.
Okay.
Not good initiative.
My first good initiative of the night.
I got a 12. Not bad, considering I've got a -4 on everything.
That's really not that bad considered.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you get a +4 to stealth if you ring the bells.
No.
I used to be able to drag a dice onto the tabletop, but it's not letting me do that now. Weird. All right, I'm just gonna make my own little counter here. Never you mind what it's for. Is everybody's initiative in the table?
Yeah.
Okay, and mine is a 13. So Jebediah, you heard the tin can rattle. You heard somebody inside yell, "Skip to the end!" What do? You still can't see into the room.
Still can't see into the room.
Yeah, the door isn't wide open because Scab just opened it a little bit.
Oh, but
and
I
then
can tell if it's lit in there.
it is
Like-
lit in there. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna scoot by Scab and like pat him on the head, say like, might want to stand back, and run in
Oh man, I'm
and start
sorry.
flipping cards.
So as you run in, you see there is someone standing above a rain barrel full of water, and the rain barrel is glowing from inside. You can see that the light coming from inside of that barrel is that same kind of indigo light given off by the trail of Billy Ray, but it's very bright. The rain barrel is covered in sigils and glyphs, and there's a man with a book. Actually, it's a sheet of paper, very familiar sheet of paper, and he's reading, very quickly reading something over it, from it over it. And then there are 10 cultists, we'll just call them cultists, surrounding him, chanting, and they're all like chanting double time now. What's your action?
Spending a lot, and I'm going to start flipping cards.
Right.
This would have been a great time to get the King of Diamonds.
I know. All right. First card. Black Joker.
Oh,
Oh God.
I think that's good.
I don't know. I'm scared.
I don't know on the Gambler if it
It's
is.
a red one.
okay,
before,
so
and it was good.
Black Joker is give me a second. Blows, hearts, clubs, Joker.
I think I did the red one before, and it was like pick an ability. I don't remember what the black one was.
Okay, black or red allows the gambler to pick any results they would like, be it another face card or a numbered card. In addition, the gambler gains 1d3 boons. So take care of that first. Roll a d3 rather than get that many
my.
boons.
Oh my gosh. 2. Okay.
Now,
Is there? I need a
so
list.
on the chart,
Is there?
the things that are going to do the most damage are the things that will hurt your friends that are around you as well. But the only one directly near you is Scab. Everyone else is upstairs.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there?
So
way
look
I
at
can
the
see
queen
this?
and king headings for each one. Like the king of spades, for instance,
If you
is basically an electrical storm.
Joe,
It's friends and foes within 100 feet.
page 54 of the PDF,
Page 54.
or page 58 of the actual PDF, 54 of the book.
I get the book. My PDF is being super slow.
It's a big PDF.
it's big.
Mhm.
Yeah.
True. It's beefy.
Okay. Page 54. Okay. And it is.
The
There's
King
so
of
many effects.
the King of Hearts might be one of the best ones, but 30-foot radius of 3d12 damage, plus an additional 1d12 per level of the Gambler.
Yeah.
Yep. And Scab is within range, but no one else is. Well, none of your other friends are. Everyone else in the room is.
Well,
There's
hopefully none of the
save on
cultists
it,
were
though.
brainwashed.
The King of Diamonds is still pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, King of Diamonds was good.
There's a save on the Fireball, but not on King.
The King of Diamonds has a fort save to half damage.
Oh, it does. No. I
I
don't
do
think
like
we
that
told
King
that.
of Hearts. It just looks so fun. Giant
Do
fireball.
what feels right.
I gotta go with that.
Just do
All
it.
right.
So,
The card bursts
King
into a
of
flame the
Hearts.
size of an orange. It begins to grow in both size and intensity until launching outward to a distance of 80 feet and a 30-foot radius. You will hit everyone in this room with a 30-foot radius. Base 3d12 damage plus an additional d12 per level of the Gambler. So
5d12.
5d12. But it
All
affects
right.
friends and foe within the affected area.
I'm sorry, Scab.
It's okay.
Yeah, you are immune to your own thing because it's always the hole in the middle thing. So like you're safe in the middle,
Mhm.
but it affects everyone else. So
All right.
roll that damage, and everyone is going to take that damage.
Whoa!
14. Okay, so here are the 10 cold.
You get to make a fortitude save or a reflex save.
So here are all the
Which
cultists.
ones?
So save. Ooh, save. Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6
Wow.
of them save. So 4 of them are affected and take full damage. Is it half? I
It's
think it's
half
half if you
damage.
save.
It's
Is
half.
it
It doesn't
fortitude or
matter. They're all dead. It's over
Reflex.
20 points of damage. It's over 20 points of damage. They don't have that much.
Yes!
The
Nice.
cult leader, however, does.
You're alive.
So here is his save. It's a reflex, right?
Scab, you're the only one
Yeah.
who could tank 20 points of damage.
Yeah, no
That was
kidding.
awesome.
I don't feel so good, Mr. McIntyre.
Oh my gosh. Same.
He fails.
He fails. Okay. Wow.
Wow.
That's nasty. It doesn't kill him though.
Hmm.
Oh no.
All right.
Wow.
It's close. He is burnt, 3rd-degree burns. There's pus coming off of the cracked and charred skin. You burned off of his robes. Remarkably, the sheet that he's reading off of is still intact. It hasn't charred it in the least bit. It's actually glowing now as he continues the chanting, forcing those words out. So he's
I'll
still
flip another
up.
card.
Oh, God.
Run for it,
That's
Scab.
true. How many cabs?
3
roll the damage
and
for those
an
2.
8. Okay, and I hurt myself.
Yep.
5 points of damage,
He's still up, and then you hurt yourself on the 8.
and then I
draw.
hurt myself a D8
Yeah, D8 and a hex
Ooh.
token.
and hex. But I get to eat that with my boon.
Yep, if you want to trade a boon out for it, that is
Yep.
just fine.
I definitely do.
Chances at the top of the stair. So the only other person that can act down here, the guys at the top of the stair, there is an incredible whoomp of fire as the oxygen is kind of pulled out of the room for just a moment. Everything is ablaze and lit up down there. Scab, what do you do?
You feel like when you open up an oven and the heat rises up, like just drift up the stairs.
Oh, gee, Mr. Jebediah, that sure was a real good run. I'll do my best to finish it off.
As you see chunks of his skin that were like melded to the floor that he just rips himself up and off, and he gives you like a high five despite the fact that you horribly
Yeah.
burned him, and then he charges at the guy.
Okay.
I say I'm sorry again as I like clap
It's
it.
okay.
Some of your skin, like
Probably sticks on you.
yeah.
Jebediah
did
says he's sorry. What you don't know is he's harvesting little bits of your soul each time he damages you.
That's okay. I'm going to go try and hit that man with the book.
Okay.
What do you think Mojo runs off of?
Oh, Lord.
Oh wow.
He had 2 hit points left.
Yeah.
Yep. So you cut him off in mid chant.
I just swing my shepherd's crook straight at his Adam's apple.
Okay. Everything is blazing and burning downstairs, guys. You hear the chanting suddenly cease.
Get the
Hopefully, we
pay.
didn't need to talk to any of them.
Eat
You
quick,
think that was the
Scab.
signal?
Get the page.
Okay. I'll grab the page and start limping back.
Okay, grab the page. There's a judge's optional here that I'm not going to go with considering our time. We'll wrap up. So you grab the page again. It is another page of the Necronomicon. It tries to fly out of your grasp as you grab it. You have it in your hand. Again, that pool of rainwater. It's glowing with that indigo essence of Billy Ray. What are the rest of you guys doing
Check it.
upstairs? Everything's
I
on
feel like-
fire down there.
I feel like there's probably something that needs to be done with the barrel of water, but I'm not there to do anything about it. So get out.
Are the cattle still there?
The cattle start the spirits of the cattle start moving through the walls and coming into the slaughterhouse.
I will join them.
Okay.
Decide what to do.
It's like a cattle drive of ghosts going down the stairs into the burning room below, and they all like They come up and their noses touch the rain barrel. And you're down here now, so you can see the glowing indigo water. Their nose, they just kind of ring it. Their nose is touching the barrel. And as each of the cows' nose touch the barrel, you see them kind of go on to their reward.
Neat.
Is Killian the only person that can see that?
Yes.
I will. I'll wait until the cattle seem to be finished, and then I'll dump out the water.
You dump out the water. The spirit of Billy Ray is decanted upon the floor as he rises from the pool of water. He says, "Killian, I don't have that $5 I owe you."
Oh, that's okay. I have something for you though, and I'll pull out the coin and I'll tap him with it.
Blake!
Get back in the damn barrel.
Okay, yeah. We're close to the end, so yeah, you send Billy Ray on to his just desserts. So the meat market's burning down around you.
Back to my original plan.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
That sure was a real good plan, Mr. Chance, and excellent, good job, Mr. Jebediah. We did
You
it.
too, Scav.
Nice. All right, you guys skedaddle. You have released Billy Ray, his spirit to the afterlife. You've stopped something from being opened. Might have been a good thing. You don't know. You don't know.
It was heaven. So
I mean, anything that possesses sides of beef like that has got to be a good thing, right?
oh yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
All
mean,
right.
if heaven's anything like the one that we've encountered so far, the sisters, then maybe hell's not so bad.
Yeah. So we'll end it there. But let me just tell you what was going on with Module, if you'd like.
Sure.
We'll pick up next time with you enjoying the town without it being so cultisty
Yeah.
heavy. And we'll move on from there. So you had since you did engage the luchador in the barn, basically killed all the men. The cult leader Edmund Gant was aware that there was someone in town that could possibly mess with him, so he created those undead beef bits. So he used some of his power up. So if this happens, it takes him 7 rounds to complete the ritual. Okay. If you guys kind of snuck in, or you didn't kill everybody, or if you just avoided the saloon, he could have gotten it done in 3 rounds.
Oh, wow.
Because he didn't have to invest the power, right? Had you not suddenly burst open the door and won the initiative, it could have gotten ugly, because he did have some very nasty powers. He's got a power called Cosmic Blast. Cost him basically just 1 point of temporary personality, but does a lot of damage with the one blast. He's got a fair amount of personality.
That's more what I was expecting to happen to me. Was I walk in, throw a spell, and just get blasted singularly by everybody.
Yeah. So his followers were basically just there to absorb damage until he could finish up. But yeah, you had an area of effect spell, pretty much took care of them. That was a good draw, though. I mean, without that draw, it would have been a little dicey. And so the judge's optional part is, if you feel that your players didn't really earn it, you could have the summoned creature, the dark matter ogre, step through anyway, even if Gant didn't finish the summoning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I chose not to, just because it would have been a pretty protracted battle. This thing is beefy with lots of hit points and lots of things that it's immune to. But you guys got it in 1 round. Like, it was a 1 round kill. So I'll give it to you.
But is it immune to soiled pants?
Well, that happens to be its Achilles. A heel. Soiled luchador pants.
Just wait for those outside, and when he comes up, just
So
jump up there and stretch him over his face.
The whole
Swings
thing
him
about
around like
Billy Ray is that during a time when one of the elder gods was uneasy in his sleep, Azathoth blinked, and his line of sight happened to be right on Billy Ray. So he was corrupted by elder god influence, which powered his soul for use as an ingredient And so Gant discovered this, was able to pull his spirit out of his dead body, put it in the rain barrel, and use that to invoke the thing from the page of the Necronomicon, which is not part of the adventure, but that's how I'm tying all of this together for you guys.
That's cool, though.
You have a
Love
second
it.
page.
That's
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
What
Wow.
would have been a more involved process without the coin to send them on? I'm still kind of confused
really.
like what that coin does.
No, not really. It just it was just a flavor thing that was thrown in there. It actually doesn't even give it as a particular power. It's just like, hey, you've got somebody that can send souls along. You've got a coin of Chiron. Sure, it just makes it a little easier.
Okay.
If you came up with any interesting ideas of what to do with it, I would have I would have ran with it, let you do something
Buy
cool
some
with
booze.
it. Came up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seemed fitting.
Drink.
It was his.
Throw it in the bottom of a cup of coffee. It's the best coffee you've ever had. That's
Oh man,
mm.
my next gun card was a black joker. Oh boy.
I had an ace coming up.
All right. So before next session, guys, where I introduce where the next page is going to be found, level up.
Nice.
Nice.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I love it.
sweet.
Oh shit. I pick up.
D5
I like that
mojo.
it was almost a TBK from a party member. That's awesome.
I
That
know.
was great.
I didn't know there were negative effects in my cards.
Oh yeah.
That was potentially very intense.
So we have to remember that this has come up before, but there's nothing below 0 on hit points. Once you get to 0, you're dying. If you're level 0, you're dead. You can roll the body if the GM decides a level 0 can. But for every level you have, that's how many rounds you can go for someone to stop the bleeding and bring you back with 1 hit point.
That's nice. That
Is
changes
there like a
everything.
check to do that if you're in combat, or is it just like you spend a turn? to
If
do it?
somebody can get to you, it takes the action from the person that is staunching the blood flow. It takes an action, and it does open you up because you have to become prone as you go down and work with the body. So
Oh,
if you're in the middle of combat, it's dicey. You can end up taking out the person trying to help. But yeah, so every level, there's how many rounds you can go before you're actually truly dead.
That's awesome.
Woo, my
Now we
leech
can-
dies up to a D5.
Three
Oh, nice.
rounds now.
And once again,
I like to think that
McIntyre is going to be
Jebediah-
laid up for a bit.
Yeah.
I like to think that Jebediah also did not know that his cards had negative effects in them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
very
It's com-
scared.
It's completely on point for a gambler, though, because gamblers are kind of loners. So, like, you'll notice those effects don't affect you, just everyone
Yeah.
around you.
Yes. I'll
blank,
be
that
a little
hurts you
bit more
too?
strategic on where I stand now.
And you do have a swearing nun that can fix that broken bone there in
Yeah.
town.
I'm definitely gonna. That would be my thing to do between sessions.
Is there going to be downtime between
Yes.
now and like the next?
Ivan's
So,
got to
like-
heal up before the lion comes into town for the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Fantastic.
to figure out which spell to take. I get a level 2 spell now.
Who will win, the bear or the lion? Stay tuned.
Well, let's we can hang out and talk about your leveling, but let's say goodbye to everybody that was so
Yeah.
kind to watch
Oh,
us
man.
there. I noticed we dropped like half the watchers when you soiled your pants. Apparently, the Goodman Games people don't like a lot of scatological humor.
They can take a lot
There
of guilt,
was.
but maybe there's a limit.
Yeah.
If they were here since the beginning, they would have known. They would feel bad about themselves.
The lawyers
Yeah, it was
disclaimer
in the
up front.
warning.
It was
Exactly,
It's
like-
right there.
We did deliver on what was promised.
All right, Chuck.
True.
Anything you want to go ahead and plug there? I'll do mine at the end.
Yeah, Defenders of Cobalt is where you can regularly find me. Twitch.tv/Defenders of Cobalt. This Wednesday, we've got our Thunder Rift campaign using the Fantasy Age system. And this coming Friday on Defenders of Cobalt, we've got our... Oh my gosh, I forgot what it is. Oh, DCC, Dead Sun. That's it. Yes. Dungeon Crawl Classics campaign and our own world. Sun's been eaten by a monster. And I think next Saturday is Heart, but I don't know if we're playing it because I think... No, Jeremy's saying no, we're not playing Heart next Saturday. So, okay. Yeah. Wednesday, Friday, Fantasy Age, or Dungeon Crawl Classics.
Jeremy, you got a Patreon to plug somewhere.
It's true. Aaron Reese on Patreon, comic books, maps, tokens, 5e assets, all sorts of nonsense. Yay!
I believe everybody else is an internet black hole. Anybody got anything else they want to plug? No. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, check my stream out at twitch.tv/SteamSteelMurder. The next game we have up, no more this week. I'm taking this Sunday off, but Tuesdays we have traditionally a first edition Dungeons and Dragons game, which is on hiatus right now, as we run Dicey Tales Volume 2. Good friend of mine, Jeff, is about to launch the Kickstarter for that. So in support, we are running a story arc in 1950, just after World War II, as they wake up with no memory of the New Year's Eve festivities from the night before. So that's been a lot of fun. Fridays is BX Dungeons and Dragons playing in the Mystara universe. Next Sunday, Shadowrun, using the actual Shadowrun 2nd edition system. We've been playing this for a while now, and we've never actually done it in Shadowrun. So we're doing that now. So there we go. And check out the podcast at BlueMagic, BLUMAGIK.com. There's 13 years worth of audio games in there. Lots of good stuff. Anything else, Chuck?
Nah, we're good to go.
Don't poop your pants. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Hard to argue with that.